So, I kind of looked this up as I was between presentations. A famous quote by Lao Tzu: "Watch your thoughts; they become your words. Watch your words; they become your actions. Watch your actions; they become your habits. Watch your habits; they become your character. Watch your character; it becomes your destiny." And let me tell you a little about myself. I grew up in the area. I wanted to be an engineer out of high school, and my parents really wanted me to be an engineer out of high school. So I started in that career path, and one day while teaching a person how to use a lathe, or actually they were teaching me how to use a lathe, we had a conversation about the difference between viruses and bacteria, and I pretty much walked out of work that day, drew an I with a top hat, a K with a sombrero, and is this better? I'll do this. Drew an I with the sombrero, and a K with a top hat, and a J with a cowboy hat on my test, and walked out of my dynamics class and became a teacher. I later had to retake that class, by the way, so don't do that. So moving forward, I have taught high school for the last 23 years. I'm in Troy at Athens and Troy High. I've seen both sides of the town. Made many friends in both places. I've traveled internationally with student groups. I've been an active leader in Scouts. I've coached swim teams, and I've had a diverse amount of experiences. And currently aside from teaching physics and Physics 2 at Troy High, I'm also on the character committee at Troy High. I did not know what the character committee was when I started, but I signed up because there was less names on the list, and I didn't know anyone in the building, and it seemed like a good way to get to know everybody. It's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever been involved in, because I think it is extremely important, and hopefully if you guys are at either of those schools, you'll take notice of growth in the area of teaching character as it becomes part of the Troy School District's mission. Okay, so character, everything we do to help other people as well as ourselves. So what is character? It is the part of you that realizes they're bigger than something more than just themselves, okay? It is the part of you that empathizes with other people and their struggles. It's the part of you that knows to do the right thing, even at your own expense. It is the part of you that forgives yourself when you make mistakes. Okay, if you do poorly, you set a goal and you don't achieve it. How can you recover from that goal? How do you come back from that? And that is an extremely important part of what makes you successful. And if you look at recent literature, it has a greater impact on your future than your academic success. And I, especially coming from Athens to Troy High, I've seen an extreme amount of pressure. I've seen a very extreme, the culture is extremely academically motivated. Every parent, every family, every student, even social peer groups want everyone to go straight up academically, as high as they can. Count how many AP classes there are. Okay, take every single AP class you can and get as much academic achievement in you as you possibly can. Yet I will see these same students who will master the skills in my class and then look down their phone and play Clash of Clans as soon as they get the work done. They've gotten their A, and they're gonna just take their success, take their mastery in that subject, and use it to play a video game. I'm not saying all you do that, but and I think what's happening is we're starting to see a shift in traditional academic goals, traditional educational goals. Throughout history, school was a place where you learned discipline, you learned to learn knowledge, you took the hardest classes you could, And we measured everybody with grades, and some people were very good at it, and some people were bad at it, and we kind of, stratified our population by that. There are kids who get good grades, and there are kids who don't get good grades. And the good students are the ones who get the good grades. And I think this is extremely untrue. Although, in Troy, we will never abandon academic rigor, knowledge acquisition, and we will definitely need to get good grades. I'm sorry, we're not going to lift that off your plates. That is important. But if you think of this huge stack, let me go to the next slide. Character education goals are more at developing the full student. They're more aligned to address the strength of heart, the strength of will, and the strength of mind. Focusing on improving these human characteristics present in the caveman mind, which would be another thing I did later, will actually nurture these traditional educational goals while developing the full human student. My caveman brain trying to change the slide. Oh, there's a button. Okay, it's not I. In Troy High School, we're trying to encourage the development of these character traits, and we do it through, I don't have it on the slide, it's an organization called character.org, and I encourage you guys all to check that out. Character.org is probably the paramount organization internationally that is responsible for developing character education models throughout the world. This fall, a number of Troy students and not students, but teachers, administrators from Athens and Troy High attended a conference in Washington, D.C. And I've been to a lot of PD sessions, but I've never been to one that nailed it as much as this one. Where we've gone wrong and where we can make things better. We focus in Troy High on kindness, empathy, responsibility, and resilience. Is there any Athens students here? At the IA, do you guys have a character? Any character goals? Any models?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it might be part of the same umbrella program that they're instilling there. Okay, so hey, check it out, pay attention to it, and try to get involved if you can. But our character goals are kindness, empathy, responsibility, and resilience. Who was it? It was really cool to see Prisha, you bringing that up and mentioning it in yours. I took a picture of it. I'll put it in our notes for when we show the staff things at staff meetings about this. We need to see that students are responding to it. But focusing on kindness, empathy, responsibility, and resilience, those are not the only ways you can describe character, but they're four very umbrella, kind of all-encompassing. Most character traits can be linked to that, and obviously there are other things in character that we will fit in there as well between those, but we've been trying to focus a lot on those, everything from the responsibility of academic honesty to being kind to each other and just treating people supportively. It's not all about academics, as I was saying earlier. I think of when I see these students that are so academically driven and focused in that tunnel vision of I have to get these grades, I have to get to this institution, I have to do this, I have to take these AP classes, and they rarely get to look to the side. I feel like they're building a tower of blocks as tall as they can, and we know that at the taller that gets, the more unstable it can actually be. I don't mean to criticize anyone's, and I don't think they meant it this way, but I heard earlier today, homework is more important than friends. It kind of hurts when I hear that type of mentality. I understand, yes, planning, and in the context of planning around doing homework, yes it is, but homework will never be more important than friends. Please don't live your life thinking that. Think of it instead of as a tall tower of blocks, you have 3 pillars, okay? This pillar is obviously your academic traditional education. This pillar is teaching people to take care of themselves. The socio-emotional pillar. Okay, getting your sleep, that was good. Getting your sleep, eating right, taking care of yourself. okay? That's very important. You cannot hold up this pile of blocks, this pile of academia, without taking care of yourself, okay? People break all the time because they don't take care of themselves, okay? And on the other side of that pillar is our character goals. Character is not, it's similar to socio-emotional development, but it isn't. Character is more you looking out for other people, okay? So if you create a student who is academically driven, okay, creative thinking, intellect, the ability to do wonderful things and absorb tons of information and become a very productive member of society and be successful themselves, that is great. We also want them to enjoy this life that they're in and take care of themselves. But sometimes you can't take care of yourself. Sometimes you need this pillar from someone else to come over here and help you. And when you do that, you form this like polymerization of a student culture in a school, where not only are people advancing themselves, but they're taking care of themselves and they're taking care of those around them. And I think that's what we're just in the beginning phases of doing this in Troy, and I'm extremely excited about it. It's a place where I can kind of, after teaching physics for so many years, it becomes kind of old hat, and you could almost do it in your sleep. This is a neat, exciting new way for me to teach and improve students, and I'm looking forward to. So what can you do? There's a lot you can do. On a small scale, you can ask yourselves, or parents, you can ask your children. I asked my student, like my son, my daughter, I was like, how did you help somebody today? Who did you help? Did you help somebody? Tell me how you helped someone. Instead of asking them how their test went or how's school going, I start with these questions about the character. Who did you help today, and how did you help them? Who helped you today? Did you ask for help? The two hardest things for an adult to say are, I was wrong, I apologize, and I need help, okay? And those habits, as they become your character, should help you secure your destiny. Let me go back. How do I go back? Probably this back arrow. Look at that. What I did was hard. How can we also get involved? Reach out, contact administrators and board members. If you're a Troy High student and you're interested in becoming active in the character committee, please see me. We want to involve more students in that, and parents as well, as we come up with programs, and we encourage the involvement of all stakeholders in that process.